pretty good. I didn't catch it initially. In fact, I guess I haven't been on since the win in Pennsylvania the other night. And obviously a big deal, but the implications of that win from now until November are not huge in terms of one more Democratic congressperson. His district will be gone as of November. He will be in a new district that is closer to 50-50 in terms of its partisan index. And I know I believe, has a challenger, a ostensibly more progressive challenger in that district. So that is something we will talk about down the road. But the implications of this election in Pennsylvania have more to do with the impact it has on Republicans, because there's nowhere for them to go after this, electorally anyways, because Donald Trump came to town, didn't have any impact. Like I said, it was like as if Gallagher 2 came into town. People went out. They caught the show. Gallagher 2 comes to town. You're not going to miss that because he's doing all the stuff that Gallagher 1 does, but probably at a 15% discount in terms of the cost. So you go to see Gallagher 2, great show, doesn't impact whether or not you go out and vote. Or doesn't impact whether other people go out and vote. People don't care if I've seen Gallagher 2 and there's an election the next day. There's no relevance. And that's what apparently was happening with Trump. But Conor Lamb was running against Paul Ryan in this election. They tried, the Republicans, to talk about their tax cuts, and then they stopped 2 weeks out because it wasn't working. They poured millions of dollars in. I don't know how much they ended up outspending Conor Lamb and outside expenditures, but it was at least a factor of 4 or 5, is my understanding. They certainly can't afford to put that much money in most races, certainly not the 120 some odd that are more blue than this district. So the question becomes, like, what do you do? And apparently that's creating a lot of dissension within the Republican Party. I feel horrible about that. But here is Conor Lamb. Do we have this segment where he talks about Medicare and? This is the same clip. Okay, yeah. Let's.
We went everywhere. We talked to everyone. We invited everyone in, and we found that there is public support for programs like Social Security and Medicare that's nearly universal, because these programs are universal. They are America's way of saying we are all in this together.
Now, that's obviously, I mean, I think people who listen to this program for any period of time know that I love to hear things like that, particularly in terms of Social Security and Medicare. But this is a guy who you can anticipate. On guns, he's somewhere between Manchin and Toomey. On abortion, he's somewhere around like where, I guess, presumably Harry Reid was and others. Maybe even John Kerry. I'm not personally for it, but I wouldn't legislate against it. But this is also a guy you can anticipate moving to the left. His district is going to become more blue. And so he's already there on economics, on social issues. You can imagine some drift to the left. But that statement about finding out over the course of the campaign, I don't know whether or not it's true, but that's the way he's presenting it, that these programs have universal appeal because they are universal in nature, bodes well for a guy coming to the conclusion that Medicare for all is the right way to go. It's not there yet, but the foundation has been laid. Laden?
I want to say that was a good use of lane.
Thank you.
Yeah, and as a pro-choice person, I just want to say, if someone is personally opposed to abortion but doesn't want to legislate it out of existence by banning it, they're pro-choice.
Right. Exactly. That's the whole point of pro-choice.